meaning of Caritas is really a Latin phrase. Caritas, it has many different meanings, but it can mean love, it can mean charity, it means to hold others in high esteem.
There are a lot of things in our community that's happening that's still unseen. You know, we have children right now in our communities that are facing some very serious issues, whether it's abuse or neglect or not having enough food to eat or going to school and not feeling like they measure up. What I love about Caritas is we give an opportunity to shed light on a subject that often doesn't see light.
Caritas has a broad range of programs really across the continuum of life, but our largest program to start out with is foster care.
Foster care is a place where children can go and be safe and start to establish family roots, start to establish what it means to be a part of a healthy situation.
Being a child and being moved from home to home so much, it took a big part of my childhood away. It was always hard for me to watch my little brother go through it with me. And so I had always wanted to help take care of him and just be there for him. Eventually, their foster mom couldn't care for them anymore. And so now that I'm old enough to do this and becoming licensed and becoming a foster parent to help them and maybe help other kids, it means a lot to me because I went through this. And so now that I'm able to adopt them and do this, it's been the best thing for our family.
Intact is an opportunity to work with a family prior to a foster care situation. Maybe something's been identified in the home where there's a challenge, authorities have been notified. Intact gives us the opportunity to intervene with that family before a child might be removed and placed in another setting.
We also have, for those children who have experienced more traumas, we have St. John Bosco Children's Center. It's a residential treatment center for the children who have sort of a deeper level of trauma.
These are children whose families have been torn apart, or they've lost their parents, or they have such severe trauma in their history and in their young lives that living in the community is not currently possible. They either lack skill or resources that are needed to be safe in the community. So they come to us for treatment.
A lot of our kids come from, because of their trauma, broken homes, and they don't know what it's like to be a member of a community. Our staff are trained to treat our kids and take care of our kids like their own. Show them what a loving home environment looks like, a safe environment.
Because every person that we impacts us in return. There's a sense of belief in the dignity and worth of people here that you seldom get to experience.
We also have Fanta Maternity Center, which is a home setting that provides services to women who are pregnant and homeless.
Every day, we get calls every day. Homeless girls, homeless women, 16, 17, 18.
A lot of times with women, when they come to us, they have very, very broken past. A lot of them have experienced extreme trauma, physical trauma, emotional trauma, psychological trauma, mental trauma. A lot of them are estranged from families, so they have no support at all.
Because that person is in the place of some pretty great potential because they're open to more possibility because of that state that they're in. And that potential at that point in time is absolutely life-changing.
Counseling is such a key element to all of the other services that we provide, because without counseling, how do you deal with the traumas of informed care where you've come out of a situation as a child and you need that support to try to make sense of what's happening?
We have to provide a very safe space for these children, because if they don't feel safe, if they don't feel heard, they're not going to open up and share anything. So sometimes it's just our presence being a very strong, loving, kind, open presence in the room where they feel safe, allows them to begin to open up and process the trauma that they've gone through.
Counseling is so important because it is the one thing that can impact a family or individual in real time, in the moment, in their crisis.
Before I worked at Caritas, I was doing private practice with adults, and I would see primarily adults that have been traumatized as children. And here they were in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, still carrying all this pain of childhood with them that was affecting every part of their life. If we can start working with these kids when they're in elementary school, middle school, and we can get them healed at that time, by the time they reach adulthood, they're going to be very successful, they're going to be stable, they're going to have healthy relationships, and that in turn produces a healthy society for all of us.
I joined CSUP back in 2017. And when I joined, I didn't know much about it at the time. It was supposed to be like AARP. It's a training program.
The design of the program is to help people get training. If they've been out of the program 55 years of age or older for any length of time, if they've been out of the workforce, the program's designed to help them get the skills necessary to be able to get back into the workforce. You gotta change your mindset. Instead of thinking, well, because I'm older, they're not gonna want me, I have all this trepidation before you go in, we work on that internally.
At my age, I never would imagine this is what I would be doing. It's like being able to start all over again.
You see their whole demeanor change. And that is what I get out of this, is that you're going about the process of helping people change their lives and their situations.
So Silla stands for Community Integrated Living Arrangements. So it basically provides a home-like environment for people with a developmental disability and much less of a facility type feel in a house in an actual community.
I've been having a hard time since I lost my mom. My mom was sick with cancer and I lost her. So all I have is my brother. But I like living there. I want to keep my room for good.
A lot of times we look at people's handicaps instead of looking at the people. And that's, when they typically have a harder time actually achieving the things that they could be able to achieve. One of the things that this has taught me is just the tremendous amount of potential in people and just kind of looking at people in a different way.
Fox River opened their doors in 2001, and we are a social model. So they were created for affordable living. So people only on moderate to low income can live here, and they get to keep more of their money and their assets.
This place is a godsend. I feel safe for openers. This is the best place anybody could come to. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful.
We also have private adoption through Caritas, adoptive parents looking to adopt a child, and women who find themselves in unplanned pregnancy.
A lot of families that we work with struggle with infertility, and so they've had years and years of, struggles and heartbreak, and so when they're able to hold and rock and feed, and it's pretty amazing to see that.
Well, we had infertility issues, and we just went down several roads, and we felt like God was just calling us to do this. I mean, we hit a wall with IVF. We just didn't feel like that was right for us, and we really just pursued adoption, and I truly believe that's what we were meant to do. Well, really why I find it so important to support an agency like Caritas is it's just a huge need in our society right now. There's so many children that just need homes and need love and need care, and I just think it's really important to support. Obviously, it's close to my heart, but I don't feel like we can do enough.
The greater community needs to know that Caritas, what we do, is not separate from the greater community, that we are part of the greater community, whether that's our workforce, whether that's our clients we work with really in any of our programs, because all of our clients are part of the community. And that belief that somebody can learn and grow or change. As an agency, I believe we strongly believe that, and we show that in the way we work with our families.
I sit here today as an example of what an investment in somebody else's life can be. And I can't think of anything better to invest in a life. We can buy houses, we can buy cars, we can, go on wonderful vacations. But to look down the street and see houses full of children or young adults or people who have overcome some very traumatic things in life and yet are successful and contributing, I think that's a healthy investment in our community and one that's worth being made.
It's not always poverty. And people have addictions, people have mental health issues, no matter what their economic status, things happen. And things happen in a way that we don't always have control over, but the community at large, Caritas Family Solutions in particular, can be there to help those families, those individuals, those people to have a better life. And that's why we're here. That's why we exist.